Hey, okay, so we're back today with more fun goodies from Concord and Ninth. They sent these cute goodies over to me because I really wanted to play and create a fun little look for Valentine's Day. So first and foremost, we have a mix and match heart stamp set, and I love this because it has the vibe of conversation hearts. So we have all of these little conversation sentiments, and then we have a coordinating die that we can cut them out and make them into that little heart candy. So you can do that route, or you can simply use this die as a background die. So you can do anything you want. This is really fun on its own, or you can mix and match them together and you can create little conversation hearts. So I'm going to go that route because I really want to see how cute these would look heat embossed in a white. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I think I have 6 pieces of paper. Yes, already pulled and ready to go. So I have 6 rows, and my goal here is I don't want to cut this out 6 times with 6 different pieces of paper, but instead I want to cut it out once. So I'm going to figure out, I think I was trying to do the math. Let me zoom out here a little bit. I was trying to do the math, and if I do 7/8, I think that will work. If I do 7/8 of an inch, then I should be able to have 6 strips that span the height of this. So let's go ahead and do that first. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, and then I just need to, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use my ruler really quick and just map this out before I do any cutting. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this blue, and these are all Concord and Ninth colors, so I will link their cardstock down below, but I'm just going to get a rough estimate. So if I start here at the 3, I'm just going to take these down and see if I can get this all mapped out. Okay, so I have a 3, and then let's do the purple. If I start this at the 7/8, should be good. Okay. Just tape that there. Again, I'm just getting a rough estimate here. Let's do this. Oops, I just covered up. Oh, it's not gonna work. Cover it right here. Okay. Okay, so this looks like a mess and a half, but I'd like to map it out just to make sure my math is correct. Okay, so if I take this little die here, I should be able to plop that right down. Yep, and all of them are covered. Okay, so that way we can do it just one time. So I need 7/8 strips of each of these pieces. And yes, you could do the math other ways, but sometimes I'm just a super visual person. So I like to just lay it on out and see how it'll work. Okay, so I'm just gonna get some paper strips here. Let me grab my mini trimmer. And again, we'll do 7/8 strips. Okay, so theoretically, this is all going to work. So these are my 7/8 strips. And again, I'm just trying to save paper by not having to cut these out all individually, and I just want to do it all together. So that should work. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to grab really quickly just a 80-pound panel, and this is A2 size. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I think I'll just do some tape runner. So using my tape runner, I'm just going to lay these down all individually, and just putting it on a piece of cardstock is going to just help me keep it all aligned, gives me a base to work on. And I have my lilac. It's going to be super important to just take my time and get these really lined up. And they don't have to be all the same size. As you can see, I just have a bunch of scraps here. There we go. Okay. That one though, I want to make sure, yeah, we're good. Okay. Okay. So this should all work out. Let's go ahead and grab, actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I will trim this down even further just to get a nice straight edge over here. Put this right through my trimmer and just chop this off. Okay, so this is the base that I'm going to work with in the meantime. And what I'll do is grab my MISTI so I can position my stamps right over the top. Okay, all right, let's position this right in here. And then I'll grab our stamp set. Now, I'm also going to reference the heart die as well, just to make sure our alignment is nice and good. Let's grab all of these. This is one nice big piece. And I might actually prefer that this is taped down instead of with the magnets. So just give me more room to play around with that stamp. I'll do that. Okay. Make sure it's going the right way. And I think if I just center that visually, I should be good to go. But I'm also going to grab and just confirm that that looks good. So now I can cling my stamp into position. Okay, make sure this all stays put. And then again, I do want to do some heat embossing. So I'm gonna grab first and foremost my anti-static powder just to neutralize the paper. Okay, and then I will grab Versamark to ink up this side of the stamp. Make sure that's all pushed over and ready to go. Okay, I'm gonna try not to smush these too much because it is a pretty fine text there. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, it's a little hard for you to see, but let me double stamp it just to be sure. Stamp that down. Okay. Oh, that looks great. Okay, let's grab our powder, and I'm going to do a fine detail white. Oh, that's the clear. Hold on. There's the white. Let's go ahead and pop this on out. Just like that. And I'll clean that off in a bit because I think for my final sentiment, I will also heat emboss that as well. So I'm going to need that MISTI in just a bit. Take that tape off. I'm going to add just a little clothespin here to help me hold this. Also a catch paper. And let's sprinkle on the powder. Okay, so I am just going to sprinkle this all over, and this is going to stick to the areas that have that Versamark. But because we also neutralize the paper, it's also going to not stick to the areas that don't have the Versamark. Okay, that looks great. Now I am simply going to, I'll put the extra back in my container real quick, but I'm gonna heat up my heat tool nice and hot, and once it is really hot, I'll go ahead and melt that powder. We'll have that nice shiny embossed look. Okay, and I did try to go nice and fast so that it didn't disrupt the tape that we put underneath that tape roller. So those look really good. So now they have, it's a little bit difficult to see, but they have a shiny look to them. Really nice. And now we can cut them out. So let's grab our heart cover plate once more and let's tape this into position. Oh my gosh, those are gonna be so cute. Okay. So I want something like that. And I think actually I'm going to need to place and tape them on my cutting plates to make sure they're nice and secure. So let me get all of that arranged and then we'll tape these down. And I will go ahead and angle this so that it runs through my machine at an angle. That way it cuts really nice. It doesn't have a big bump. That looks really good. I'm so excited about that. Okay, let's tape this side too. Should be good to go. Let's go ahead and sandwich that down and run it through real quick. Okay. Okay, now what you can do from here is you can pick out the sentiments that you want to use and put them on your card. I'm gonna go ahead and use all of them just because I like the look of having just a whole mix of them. But there they are. So they're all cut out, but luckily they're kind of placed right in there so I don't have to lose them. So I'm gonna set this to the side, but they are all cut out. Let's move that there. And then what I'm going to do is I'll grab 80-pound cardstock one more time, and this will be our back panel. So let's go ahead and again, we'll secure this on the cutting plate. Just like that. Make sure it's nice and aligned. Tape it down to secure it. And we'll trim this part out. Now this is going to be our background. So this is going to be like our template and where we place our hearts inside. We're going to do a little inlay. So this time I do want to pop out all of the hearts. They pop out just like that. You can keep these for other things. These would be really good shaker filling. And then this is the piece that I want to keep. Okay, so there is our background piece. Pretty. All right, let's go ahead and move that there. Move this here. And you know what I was just thinking? If you wanted a different look, now I want the inlay look, but if you wanted to do it really easy, what you could do is not cut out the hearts here. You could just leave this one strip, and then you could go ahead and cut the white piece out and put it over the top. So that would be super easy as well. Now I want that inlay look where I actually paper piece it right inside each one. And it's actually going to have a tad bit of a raised look, which is really cool because I have 2 layers of paper. Remember when I put the tape runner and then added the strips? So this is bumped up a little bit because it is 2 pieces thick, which will be really neat. We'll have some very subtle but pretty dimension. Okay, moving these things to the side, I feel like I have a little bit of embossing powder, so I'm going to go ahead and just wipe this off really quickly. And let's get our card base made using my Score Buddy. This time I'll grab 110-pound cardstock. This is as a final card going to be at the A2 size. So for my card base, I want it to be 11 by 4 1/4, and then I will score at 5 1/2. Okay. Crease that down. Okay, and then again, A2 will be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so now that that is nice and dry, let's go ahead and just secure this down. Just like this. Okay. I am this time going to use some liquid glue. And honestly, you know what I could do, because I'm going to end up gluing all these pieces inside, is I can add my glue over here. And if I need to add more, I will. I want to make sure that I'm very mindful of the edges here, all the way around. But I can go and add more glue to the insides of the hearts in just a moment. Okay. And because I'm using that liquid glue, it'll allow me to kind of shift that into position. Looks great. Press that down. And then any of that existing glue I will use for the hearts. Okay, but I will still add more. So I'm going to go row by row, pop my hearts out over here, and I'll just place them right inside. Go ahead and zoom in so you can really watch, and let's start our little inlay. Now, two things. You can mix and match these around if you wanted the colors to all be mixed together. I liked the idea of having them in kind of a color block look. And also you can still use this piece to do something really fun as well. So I love that. Now, one thing I wanted to show you that I'm really, really happy about is that we have that subtle pop of dimension, because the hearts, again, are double layered. So how neat do those look? I'm trying to show you how they kind of pop out of there just ever so slightly. Okay, let's move this to the side, actually all the way to the side for a moment, because I want to bring in a stamp set that I used in Tuesday's video. If you missed Tuesday's video, we made these really cute little tasty treat boxes. Aren't they adorable? I made these for the teachers this year. And this collection, so go back and watch this if you missed it, but this collection had a really fun stamp set that I want to use on my card. I used last time this Love You Lots, and I thought it would be cute to put it on here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And we're going to do some heat embossing once again, but this time I'm going to use a gold. Okay, putting this right back on this sheet. And then I have a little piece that I can use. It's a scrap piece. Place this right on down. Okay. And we will do the exact same thing that we did for the conversation heart. So we'll neutralize our paper. It's all the same process. We're simply using a different color of cardstock and powder. So we'll ink up our stamp. Press that down. I like to repeat that twice. And then we'll grab gold powder this time. And just drizzle that right over our sentiment. Tap that off. That looks great. All right, save our powder and we'll melt with our heat tool. Really get an appreciation with the gold of the shiny look of that embossed powder. And then I'm going to take some scissors. I'll just trim this off. And it does have a coordinating die that comes with the, let me grab it. Okay, here's the outline die. It comes with the die set that makes those boxes. So be sure to check out that video from Tuesday. It was super fun to do and put together. Okay, so we'll rotate that, get it taped down and send it through to get all cut out. And there is our sentiment. So pretty. Okay, I think this will be nice and delicate looking on this beautiful colored background. So let's get this right back in here. And I do want to put some foam tape on the back here. And I thought this would be cute all kind of tilted like so. Grab some of my bigger foam squares. Just like this. And I have a little bent weeding hook that I like to use to take off my liners. Just makes it nice and easy. Okay. Then I can just hover this where I'd like it. And again, we have some foam tape on the back. And you could do it anywhere, really. I kind of like the center. Be pretty. I'm going to just kind of tilt that a little bit. You can do it straight on, but I think it has a fun element when it's tilted because of the shape that it takes on. There we go. And there is the final card. Isn't that fun? I love that. And again, this background die set is really fun and very versatile. You can do so many different looks with it. So this is a fun one to have in your collection. Definitely a fun one to create and play around with for Valentine's Day. And I hope you enjoyed it. All right, all supplies will be listed down below and I'll see you all in the next video.